The soldier cautiously peered out, only to narrowly avoid being shot in the head. The sniper was hiding in an attic right next door. Taking a deep breath, the soldier quickly got up and fired. After hearing the bullet hit his helmet, he stood up to assess the situation. Field carefully climbed up to the attic and reached the door where the German sniper was hiding. When Field awoke again, it was already late at night. He got up and stepped outside. At that moment, flares lit up the town. Bright as daylight, he hadn't walked far before German bullets began flying at him. Field started running frantically, and under the cover of darkness, he managed to evade the German pursuit. But suddenly, a figure appeared in front of him. Before he could determine whether the figure was friend or foe, the figure fired at him. Field ran desperately and by the faint light hid in a basement. After making sure the Germans hadn't spotted him, he began searching the basement. Soon, he found a French woman with a child. As a gesture of thanks for her help, Field gave her all of his food. She tended to his wounds, and then begged him to stay and be the child's father. However, Field had a mission. He was responsible for the lives of 1,600 men, and had to leave. Reluctantly, he set off again. As soon as he left the basement, the Germans spotted him, and with them in hot pursuit, Field ran frantically, and eventually jumped into a river. When he woke up, it was early morning. Struggling, he swam to the shore. The mission deadline had passed, and it was now impossible to deliver the intelligence in time. The 1,600 men of the Devon Regiment might be wiped out. Blaming himself, Field heard singing from deep in the woods. Following the sound, he found a group of soldiers resting in the woods. Field muttered to himself by a tree, and seeing a glimmer of hope, "We have to find the Devon. 왜 이래 되든지, your attention지, Fishko. 왜 하빈이 건하지? Or the second wave." Though the advanced troops had already launched an attack, there was still a chance to deliver the intelligence to the superior officer and save the 1,600 men. Field ran toward the command post, pushing through the crowd to reach the frontline trench, where soldiers were preparing to attack. Soon, German artillery started shelling the position. Determined to pass the intelligence to the colonel, Field made a risky move. He climbed out of the trench and ran desperately toward the command room. By then, the soldiers had already charged. Field kept running and finally reached the colonel's command room. There. "This attack is not just overhead. You have been ordered to stop." The colonel believed victory was imminent. The soldiers had already charged, and there was no talk of retreat. Field desperately pleaded, saying it was a trap. The Germans had been preparing for months. Only then did the colonel agree to read the letter. In the end, Field completed the mission successfully and saved the lives of over 1,000 soldiers.